particularly for ladies. Okay, so if your husband is helping you by holding your shoulders, there's no problem, because that is not considered to be a violation. That is not intimacy. Okay, so men will be required to help their wives, and in doing so, that does not break any of the requirements of tawaf. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So after lunch, we'll proceed on some lighter note material, inshallah, so we can all pay attention to this lighter material. It's not, shouldn't be that difficult. Okay, so the first important message I want to give you, all of you, is that we are going to be departing from Canada. Okay, so we'll have Hujjaj from Canada. We'll be joined from Hujjaj from the US, some of them are listening online, and then Hujjaj from the UK. Alhamdulillah, all of us will collect together, the whole group will be collected in Medina, and then we'll proceed to Hajj, inshallah, collectively together. Some of the logistics information I'm going to go through applies to the Canadian Hujjaj or some other groups who are with us, but they have slightly different logistics. But inshallah, we'll all arrive safely and proceed to Hajj together. So all of us, inshallah, are aware we are departing on October 1st via Egypt Air, and the timing of the departure is 12:45 p.m. What that means is all of us have to be at the airport at least 3 hours before departure. Right? If you can be there around 3.5 hours before departure, well and good, because the earlier you are in the line, the earlier you can get rid of your bags. Okay? It's going to be a day flight, so alhamdulillah, most of you will be rested from Canada. We'll arrive in Cairo at 6:15 a.m. So we'll spend the night, of course, traveling. We'll arrive at 6:15 a.m. So if you look at the timings, most likely we will have to pray Zohar and Asr namaz on the plane. We'll have to pray Maghrib and Isha namaz on the plane. And also, most likely, we will have to pray the Subh namaz on the plane. So this will be one flight where you're covering all your 17 rakats. Okay? And Akil Bhai went through the rules of doing the namaz on the plane. Okay? So alhamdulillah, the connection on the way to Medina is very good. So we're going to be departing Cairo, inshallah, at 10 a.m. and arrive there around 12:50, around 1 o'clock time in Medina. We'll go through the formalities. Generally, it's easier to get processed in Medina as opposed to Jeddah or Hajj terminal. So it will take us maybe 2 hours to go through the airport formalities. As I mentioned before, we'll have to leave the passport at one of the agents in Medina, and you'll get your passport on the way out. Okay? The important thing here is that you have to be rested while you are on the plane. You can catch up on your reading material. As Sheikh Jafar mentioned, preparation is the key to this spiritual trip. Okay? Once we arrive in Medina, right, we'll have to collect our luggage, put that luggage on the truck or on the bus, and we'll inshallah proceed to the hotel. Once we reach the hotel, there'll be lots of suitcases in the lobby. Don't worry, we'll try to get you some food. You can go up to your rooms. The rooms list will be posted on the reception area, okay? And then we will make groups to go to the haram to do the wajibats, and you can also pray most likely Zohr, Asr, namaz in the haram, okay? Okay, departure to Medina. Again, there's a lot of material which has been covered by Sheikh Jafar and Akil Bhai, so I'll skip through. I'll cover mostly the logistics. The important thing here is, again, we need to know where we are going, whom are we visiting there, okay? So, for example, this is the haram of the Prophet, okay? And we all have to be prepared spiritually to visit our Aimmas in Medina, okay? There are a lot of ayats which I'm going to just skip through quickly. One second. Okay, the reason for that is you can read it on yourself. There's one ayat I would like to cover, okay, is that when the Prophet, we are in Medina, we ask through the prophets, dua tawassul we recite, right? The reason I want to cover that is when you go to the Baqi, for example, or you go to the plains of Uhud, there are big boards there, green and blue color, which basically say on the board that it is haram, it is bid'ah to ask or to ask for intercession through our imams. But there is an ayat in the Holy Quran which covers that we can ask through our Prophet and our imams. Okay, so this is just in order for you to be prepared, okay? Okay, as I mentioned, okay, we will be covering getting the luggages and going through the hotel. We covered that one. Okay, when we are going to the haram, we have to be in the state of wudu. Okay, they have got washroom facilities and wudu area outside the haram, but in order to save time, because you're going in a group, right, it's better to be in the state of wudu when you depart the hotel. Okay, you have to carry a water bottle with you as well inside the haram. Just in case your wudu breaks, you can do the wudu from your water bottle. If you have to come out, you will waste a lot of time. Okay, and there are demonstrations. We can do that in Medina, for example, of how to do a wudu through either a water bottle or a spray bottle. It's possible. Technically, it's doable. Okay. You will be given a shoe bag, which you have to carry it again with you all the times. So when you are going to the haram in Medina or in Mecca, you are carrying your shoes with you in the bag. It's not the system like we normally visit a mosque or here, for example, where we leave our slippers outside or our shoes outside. Okay, so you have to carry your bag with you. And there are, in Medina, there are areas where you can put your shoe bags near where you'll be praying, or you can keep it near with you, but they're in a bag. So alhamdulillah, that's okay. All right. This is a very common question about cameras. So generally, in the past, they were refusing people with cameras. Sometimes they ask you when you enter, but with advancement in technology, most of the cell phones have cameras, so they cannot control too much. But ideally, if you have a separate camera, you should leave it in a hotel because you cannot carry that in the haram. Okay, you will have to carry your dua books, okay, and your MP3 players, for example, so you can recite the duas. The books about the Hajj, book 1 and 2, about the amals and the duas will be given to you. Okay, inshallah, if you get it in time, we'll give it to you, so you carry them. Otherwise, it will be available for you in Medina, inshallah. Okay. When we enter the Prophet's mosque, you cannot enter just without any permission. This is not a normal house or normal masjid you are entering. We have to recite Izn Dukhul, the permission to enter the holy mosques. Okay, and inshallah it will be done in a group for the first timers, and then you can go on your own. And whenever you do go on your own, you can recite Izn Dukhul as well. Okay. Ladies have different timings to visit the haram in Medina. Okay, so the ladies will organize themselves and they'll be taken accordingly. They cannot reach to certain parts in the Masjidul Haram where the pillars are, because that's how the rules work over there based on the people in charge. Okay. Okay, so basically in the Masjidul Haram, we will take the first timers together in a smaller groups, okay, and you have to listen to the announcements which will be made once we are in the hotel, okay, at what times, etc. Okay, we will inshallah do the ziyarats once we are in the haram. Okay, we'll recite the ziyarat of the Prophet, we recite the ziyarat of Bibi Fatima, we recite Sunnat Namaz, etc. We'll proceed to Jannatul Baqi, inshallah, and do the ziyarat of our immas there. Okay, and in the Masjidul Haram, in the Masjid of the Prophet, okay, there are different pillars. There's lots of history, and that's where, as Sheikh Jafar said, preparation comes into play. Okay, the significance of each pillars, that will be all in your books. You need to pre-read, so when you are entering there, there'll be a lot of crowd, but at least we can, spot the pillars for you, so you can visualize. Okay, it won't be possible to read while looking at the pillar. Okay, you have to prepare that material before, so when you are physically in the haram, you can visualize the pillars. Okay. One of the common area is the area of Riyadul Jannah, which is between the Zari and the Prophet's member. It's highly recommended to recite 2 rakat namaz there. There's so much commotion to get the spot there, but if you're really interested, you really have a niyyah to pray there, it can be possible, and we'll announce the time in terms of when is the last rush. Generally it's around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., but we'll work with you inshallah and get to there. Okay. Unfortunately, ladies will not be able to pray there, but inshallah, if you have the niyat, Allah will give you the thawab as well. Okay. So sometimes we get the question, what is a typical day in Medina? So generally, we wake up early in the morning, around 3:30, 4 a.m., to go and do our namaz al-shab, or salatul layl in the haram of the Prophet, and then basically we have the subuh namaz. Okay. And after the subuh namaz, we proceed to Jannatul Baqi, where the men can go inside, and we do the ziyarat of the Aimma in the Baqi. Okay. Generally, we pray the namaz, in the haram, and the namaz is full, both in Medina and in Mecca. Okay. Once we go outside, then you can pray qasr, but we'll announce those. Okay. As Sheikh Jafar said, we are in the proximity of the 6 Masumin. 6 out of 14 Masumins are in Medina. So you have to feel that spiritual energy. This is the time to prepare, because in the scheme of things, okay, you're going to go blank. So this is the time where we start writing the notes. What are you going to talk about to the Prophet, to the Imams? Okay? How many of you have been to Ziyarat in Iraq? Okay? How many of you had the opportunity to visit Agastistani? Quite a few, right? What does happen there? So you go in there, and then you have 45 minutes, half an hour, and then you're asked to leave. The Prophet there is open 24 hours. You have all the time to talk to him and the Imams there, okay? But you need to have points. What are you going to talk? Because you're going to go blank very quickly once you are there. It's so good, okay? It's very, very important not to miss any lectures, okay? Because this is the time where we cover all this material again, both from a spiritual and fiqh perspective. And towards the end of the lectures, we make logistic announcements. So what time are we leaving, okay? If you ask me what time are we leaving from Makkah, I'll give you the answer. Maybe it's just 4 a.m., 4 p.m., just before Maghrib, etc. If you ask Inayat the same question, he'll ask you, where were you? Why didn't you attend the lecture? Okay? And why didn't you look at the announcements which are posted on the main floor in the lobby? And he says, what part of English didn't you understand? Okay? So this is just a quick picture of Jannatul Baqi, okay, where we have the Imams, okay? The important point there is for the men, when you go there in Jannatul Baqi, there'll be a lot of crowd, okay? And there'll be lots of Shias and our Al-Sunnah brothers. And there will be some guards standing there, and they'll tell you it's not allowed to pray here, you don't need to do the ziyarat of the Imam, etc. All you have to do is pray your ziyarat and walk away. There's no point in getting into an argument with the guards over there. They are doing their job, you are doing your part, and move on. Because there'll be a lot of people, you will see, they'll try to argue with them, but we don't want you to be in that commotion or in that stampede, for example, if it happens. We have had situations with our scholars, okay, by just talking to them, they were detained. And if you are part of that group, you are detained, you are creating more logistical issues for the group leaders. So our point is, please do not argue with them, do not talk to them. And they are now trained to speak to you in Urdu, for example, right, in English, etc. So be careful not to speak to them. Unfortunately, the ladies cannot go inside the Jannatul Baqi. They have to recite the ziyarat of the Imams from outside, okay? Outside ziyarat in Medina, alhamdulillah, we'll be going via buses, okay, to see some of the mosques there, Masjid al-Qiblatain, Plains of Uhud, Masjid al-Quba, okay? Sabah Masjid, again, the earlier you visit, inshallah, we'll all be blessed to go there, because they are removing some of the signs. They are destroying some of the historical sites there. So as far as Sabah Masjid is concerned, we'll see what's left over. In the past, there are some other mosques which have been torn down, okay? So what are the guidelines from a logistic perspective? Be ready at the exact time announced. Today, we started the program 10:03. It was 10 o'clock in essence. We have to start Surah Yasin. So you will see that this group will do its best to be on time, okay? So when we announce that tomorrow the Canadian group is going for outside ziyarat, it's 8 a.m., that means you have to be down in the lobby for 8 a.m. Sometimes we get, oh, my partner said he's coming, he's in the washroom. No, you cannot hold the whole bus for one person, and okay, so it applies to all of us together. Okay, make sure you have gone to the washroom in the hotel, not in the outside ziyarat, because the washroom facilities, they are there. Some of them are not as good as the washroom facilities at the hotel. Some of you want to use English washrooms, you have to use them at the hotel. You have to be in the state of wudu, because once we go for outside ziyarat, we'll be visiting different mosques, and we have to pray, Tahiyyat al-Masjid, 2 rakat salat in those mosques. So again, you will save time if you are in the state of wudu. The masjids have got washroom facilities, they have got wudu facilities, but if the whole group goes to do wudu, we are wasting time. So the more people are in the state of wudu, it's better. There'll be few whose wudu has been broken, that's absolutely fine, but then only a few people are going to use the washroom facilities, okay? An important announcement, as soon as we arrive at the masjid, any masjid, there'll be some people who will have stalls. But this is not time to shop, we are going to the mosque, because we don't want to delay the whole group. You'll have enough time, both in Medina and Makkah, to do the shopping. On the bus, we recommend that you sit with the same partner, and then on the way back, you are sitting back with the same partner. Because normally we count the people, but on the way, we just say, are we all in? when we are coming back, are you missing your partner? So we don't want you to switch partners. We don't want you to switch buses. There'll be, for the Canadian group, there'll be 2 buses going for Hafsa Ziyarat. You have to be in the same bus. Logistically, it makes things easier, so we can move the whole group as fast as possible. Okay? So ladies and gents will be in the same bus generally. And normally what we have done in the past is that we'll have one bus with an Urdu speaking guide. The other bus would be with English speaking guide. So you can at least choose those buses. But ladies and gents can be in the same bus. Generally we have the ladies sit at the back, men in the front. But inshallah, that's how we normally do. Okay? Departure for Makkah. As Akil Bhai mentioned, our miqat is Masjid al-Shajara, but we'll do the ghusl at the hotel, and then we'll proceed to Masjid al-Shajara to do our niyat. Okay? I'm going to skip on the spiritual aspects which Sheikh Jafar mentioned between the discussion between Shibli and the 6th Imam, but every ritual we do has a spiritual significance which you can read. Okay? And the red line here is that pre-read the rituals, pre-read the meaning of Talbiyah so you understand exactly what you are saying, because if you understand what you are doing, that would be the catalyst for your change once you come back. Okay? So this is the picture of Masjid al-Shajara, okay? And what will happen, we will announce the time that we want your bags ready by 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. on the day we are departing Medina, because the luggages will go in a lorry, and you'll see a picture of the lorry in the presentation. So that will go ahead. We'll not be able to fit all the luggages inside the bus, right? And then we'll announce the bus numbers. The spouses have to be in the same bus because of the passport and the mahram issue. So let's say there are 40 people to a bus, okay? And we'll announce that, we'll have a list. You have to be in the same bus because the driver will carry your passport. If your passport is in a different bus, there will be a logistical issue on the way to Makkah because there are a number of checkpoints which we have to go through, okay? Again, they are saying that the 12th Imam, I've heard, that also does his niyat in Masjid al-Shajara. So again, when you are in Masjid al-Shajara, there is some thought you need to put through that you never know. The Imam may be doing the niyat at the same time in that mosque as you are. Okay? So, and there are a lot of spiritual significance where Shibli asked the 6th Imam. So again, you can read it on your own. Arrival in Makkah earlier, so as Akil Bhai mentioned, we'll travel at night. Okay, so after Maghrib namaz, we'll do the niyat for the ihram. Okay, and again there'll be groups of people doing the niyat together, so you'll have full support. Okay, in terms of your niyat. If your niyat is a little bit different from the rest of the group for the first timers, you can ask one of the person. He'll take you on the side, make sure with you that you do the niyat correctly. So there'll be full support, full guidance. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. So what we will do is once we are on the bus, okay, generally we recite the talbiyah. After a while, everybody is on their own. You can listen to your MP3 player, you can sleep, etc. Ideally, we would recommend people to sleep because we are traveling at night. It will be a little bit early, but at least you can grab 2-3 hours of sleep. You'll be more rested for the next day when we are in Makkah. Once we reach Makkah, we will proceed to the hotel. Again, there'll be a list of room numbers, etc. You can go to your room, refresh yourself, have something to eat, and then we will proceed to do our tawaf as Akil Bhai mentioned. Okay? Depending on the timing, we'll do the tawaf before subuh namaz or after, but we'll organize ourselves. Okay? And what we will normally do is make group of 10 to 15 people, and they'll have a group leader who has been to Hajj or to Umrah before. So they are familiar with the surroundings, and they'll take that small group and they'll guide them through the tawaf, starting point, where you enter, etc., and make sure that you all finish your tawaf. Okay? And then you decide with the group leader where you will meet for the sa'i, or some groups decide that they'll do the sa'i and then meet. Okay? So again, your group leader with a smaller group will decide the logistics at that point in time. Okay? Okay, what to do in Makkah? Typical day in Makkah. Again, very similarly, we start early our days for starting with Salatul Layl, Subuh Namaz, and then you can come back. Okay, remember the namaz is full, and remember the rules which Akil Bhai mentioned in terms of reciting behind the Imam of the Haram over there. Okay, again, it's very important that you do the wudu in the hotel. Make sure you carry your slippers with you. There is no way you can leave your slippers outside in Masjid al-Haram. You have to carry it with you. Even when you are doing tawaf, generally, we prefer that you carry your shoes with you. Okay, there'll be a nice bag that will be given to you, because once you finish your tawaf, you don't know which exit you will be coming out of. Okay, so ideally you should have it. So the lighter the slippers you have, the easier for you in terms of carrying that with you. Okay, there are quite a few sunnat, du'as you can recite, which you can read once we send you the PowerPoint slides. Okay, in Medina we go for outside ziyarat by a bus. In Mecca they are outside ziyarat, but it's a walking ziyarat. We'll take you some of the places. For example, Masjidul Jinn. We take you to Jannatul Mu'alla. Okay, as well, where they are the graves of the Prophet's father, etc., and Bibi Khadija as well. Arafat, okay. Space will be tight, that's a given, okay. Inshallah, we will all share to get bonus thawab. It will be very hot, so you need to take lots of liquids, okay. Alhamdulillah, there are reasonably good facilities for washrooms, so you have to be hydrated. Over years, we have seen now that they've also got 1 or 2 English washrooms. Their lineup is long, but they are still available there. So the point is you have to be hydrated. If you don't drink, you are creating logistical issue for the organizers, okay? Hajj is Arafat, you just heard that. So again, some of it is repetitive, so we want to make sure that you get those points, okay? Line up for washroom or bathroom before you have to go. It's not freely available. So for example, right, if it's namaz time, you will see lots of people doing wudu and they want to go to the washroom. There'll be 10 to 15 people to a line. I did experience one time, one person was willing to pay $100 to get to the first point. Okay, so sometimes, when you finish your sunnat du'as, take a stroll, go to the washroom, so it's not rush, right? Okay, inshallah, you will experience that, but it will be good, okay? As Akil Bhai mentioned, the wajib stay in the Arafat is from Zohr to Maghrib, therefore rest at night if you cannot stay awake in the afternoon, okay? Again, this is one area where the 12th Imam is present, the plains of Arafat. He's in Hajj every year, and this is where you can at least confine him on the plains of Arafat, because there is a very specific time from Zohr to Asr, where every person who is performing Hajj has to be there. So from Zohr to Maghrib time almost, right? You can probably count the Imam to be on that plain, okay? We have sent out a packing list. Again, the packing list is all up to you, whatever you need. All we really need is your normal clothes and ihram, as Akil Bhai mentioned, but all the rest is up to you. You don't have to feel, there's a question, do we need everything? No. And Medina, Makkah, alhamdulillah, they've come up quite a bit. There are lots of stuff you can even buy there, right? So it's all up to you, okay? This list is a suggested list for the trip when we go to Arafat, Muzdalifah, and Mina, okay? You can read, we will send out this via PowerPoint as well, okay? The important thing here is dua books, and review the dua of Arafah before reaching Arafah, okay? So in Makkah, once you have finished your Umrah, there will be a couple of days. You are completely free, you go to the Haram, you come back. So this is the time where you have to prepare for the days to come in Arafah, Muzdalifah, and Mina, okay? Okay, so what you see now is Muzdalifah. So if you picture, there's nothing up on the top, it's just the sky. We'll be there at night, so you are sleeping on the ground with your sleeping bag. As Sheikh Jafar mentioned, this trip will teach you about death. Allah is so merciful that He didn't ask us to sleep 6 feet under. He's merciful enough that we can sleep on the ground, right? But He still wants to give up our beds, our convenience, our comfort, etc. But alhamdulillah, we are still sleeping on the ground, but there is nothing else besides your sleeping bag, okay? Okay, so men cannot sleep while covering their heads, okay? This is the rule of the ihram. No food is available in Muzdalifah. So before we leave Arafat, you'll be fed enough during the stay in Arafat, so people are not that hungry. All you can buy at the most in Muzdalifah, and you will see that in one of the presentation, is just a cup of tea and maybe some cookies, okay? But lots of people carry their own granola bars, etc., and you will not feel that hungry, inshallah, okay? So we are picking pebbles in Muzdalifah, 70 pebbles, okay? And Sheikh Jafar went about the spiritual aspects. The other thing you have to worry about is 70 defects we have in our own self. right? It's easy to hit the shaitan with slippers, but shaitan is not confined to that jamarat. He's everywhere. The important thing about picking pebbles is that we need to look at ourselves and pick up the defects, and then when we hit the shaitan, we inshallah said that we are gonna get rid of that defect which we have in our own self. Okay. Mina, again, it's a tent city. Okay. The walk to the jamarat is the number one question we get to Mina. Generally, our tents are far towards compared to the jamarat. Okay. If you ask Inayat, he says he can walk to the jamarat in 45 minutes. But that 45 minutes is without traffic of people. Okay. Generally, it takes 1 hour to 1.5 hours one way. Okay. So there is lots of walking, lots of walking, lots of walking. I mean, you'll get some practice while doing the tawaf. You'll get some practice while doing the sa'i in Umrah. But the walk to Jamarat is very, very long. And as Akil Bhai mentioned, we have to do it from the lower floor, like the ground floor. So there are detours which we have to go through to make it to the Jamarat. And we are walking, and you'll see in the presentation, with group and herds of people. Okay? The first question I get as soon as people have hit Jamarat is there wheelchair available to go back? Is there taxi available to go back? And the answer to that is no. You will see it's just highways of people walking. There's no motor cars going through. The important thing again is walking. Preparation spiritually and physically. People who are not used to walking, they need to walk. But again, you still have to keep praying, because even you are physically fit, you can get dehydrated, or illness may kill you, right? So it's just basically preparation, okay? Okay, and this is the important point. So the washroom facilities on the way to the Jamarat are not good at all. You have to go to the washroom before you start the walk. Right? I'm emphasizing these issues because we do have people, if somebody says halfway, I want to go to the washroom, we have nothing else to do. Because the walk back is 45 minutes. The walk front is 45 minutes, right? So that's why we prepare you to make sure you are prepared. The other thing you have to do, again, friends can remind each other, spouses can remind each other, you have to have water bottle with you before you start the walk. If you can carry 2 water bottles, that's even better. Because remember, once we reach Mina, right, it will be hot. It may be 9 a.m., 10 a.m., etc., but it's going to be very hot because it's summer season, more or less, okay? For them, I mean, it's October, it's still hot. So you need lots of water, okay? And there are very few places to buy water on the way. There are just few places initially when you start the walk. Once you are on, there's no places to buy water. And they don't allow any small vendors to sell water near the Jamarat, okay? So that's why it's very, very important to have water. The other thing which we have found very, very helpful is the spray bottle. And they are available here. Carry a spray bottle, put some water, so you can spray on each other, on your head, on your face, okay? Which again keeps you cool from the hot sun, yeah? Okay, this is one of my best slides about comfort. And Sheikh Jafar alluded to that as well. So we start at our comfort, which is our home, okay, cool air condition, our own bed, etc. We go to Medina, okay, the comfort level starts dropping. We are now sharing rooms with people, okay, and spouses are separate. So again, you are sharing room with people you don't know. Sometimes you don't, and you can request those via email, and we'll try to accommodate as many as possible. As we mentioned, 4 to a room more or less, okay. The space goes even further down in Mecca. The hotel rooms are smaller. Sometimes we also leave our bags outside in the hallway. You can lock them and leave because there's no space in the room. You can hardly walk in and out of that room. Okay, one washroom to a room. So again, the comfort level goes down. Then we'll proceed to Arafat. Alhamdulillah, we'll have tents overhead on ourselves, right? There'll be carpet. You put your sleeping bags, and that's how you rest for the night over there and the next day. And then, as you saw the slide to Muzdalifah, there is no tents on our top. So we are basically in open sky. So that's the lowest level we'll go, okay? Then we proceed to Mina, where we are back into tents, okay? And if we are lucky, we'll get air conditioner working in the tent, so there's a little bit more cool there, okay? And then we proceed to Makkah, and then back to home. Now, what's the significance of Allah making you go through this comfort level curve? Because Allah says when the comfort level comes down, the blessings go up. Okay, that's the thing. So if we are prepared, we expect what is going to come through, then alhamdulillah, there'll be no stress. There'll be no issues, okay? So general trips, again, throughout the trip, drink lots of room temperature liquids at all times. Go to the washroom when the bus stops, not when the bus is about to start. So very typical, we leave Masjid al-Shajara on the way to Makkah, right? And generally, we tell the group that, okay, if you want to go to the washroom, tell the group leader that we want to stop the bus. So give us 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes leeway time, because then we are waiting for the next exit or next rest area to stop the bus. So you cannot say, I need to go, I want to go now. We have to stop the whole bus on the road. So by the time the bus stops, so the person or few people will get off, go to the washroom and come back. And then another person, now I want to go to the washroom. So where were you before? 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before. So that's the idea, again, to minimize the time. The more we delay at night, the more the crowd of Makkah in the Subuh Namaz prayer. Because people who are already in Makkah, they will be going to do their Salatul Layl and Subuh Namaz, right? So the earlier we reach Makkah, the more time we have with less crowd to do our tawaf. Okay? We recommend 5 hours sleep straight. If you want to be healthy and not get sick, you need to sleep, you need to rest. So what the typical schedule is that after night lectures, night dinner, right? If you sleep in by 10, 10:30, you can wake up at 3:30 for Salatul Layl. 5 hours straight, okay? And then when you have breakfast, you can rest again before Zohar, Asr, or in the afternoon as well, okay? And you can take cat nets. And the next point is identification. You see that sample. We will be given an identification badge, which you are required to wear at all the times, okay? You will see in the presentation there are so many people that if something happens to you and you don't have an identification badge, it will take group leaders maybe a day or even 2 days to find you. If the identification badge is there, then they can call the person, the phone number is there, that we have found a person from your group here. Please come and you can then attend to your needs, etc. Okay? All right, final preparation. Just a quick summary. Sheikh Jafar went through that as well. To do your to-do list, we have got 6 to 8 weeks before we go. Time is running very short, so you start doing your to-do list at work. We are all very busy at home, and for the spiritual trip. Complete your wills, pay up your homes, visit the graveyard, ask everyone for forgiveness. So it's very typical. You may get emails, right, from your family and friends. We are going for this spiritual trip. It may be Hajj, it may be Ziyarat. Please forgive us. Last year, one lady said she sent out an email at work. She asked forgiveness from her coworkers. That was really, really good, because now she's doing some tabligh, right? That where is she going? Why is she going? Etc. It was really good. That was very good suggestion from her side. So if you are up to it, something you can do, right? Okay, quick summary, top 10 tips. This is the bonus thawab category. We all want to achieve more than we are supposed to, right? Okay? So Allah loves the one who helps another Haji. Look out for that opportunity. So you'll meet people from different parts of the world. Somebody is struggling a little bit. Maybe it may be a wheelchair, something else. Just lift them up. Give them a hand, okay? Allah loves the one who shares space, snacks, and time. So I put space there first before snacks. It's easy to share snacks, but it's not easy to share space. So when we arrive in Arafat, okay, there'll be ladies' stands and men's stand. And we have paid for each and every one. The organizers have paid for each and everybody's space. But it always happens, guaranteed, that we'll be short of tents there for whatever reason. So we have to share, we have to squeeze. So it's okay to share space, okay? Because that's a bonus of our category. Snacks and time, okay? Allah loves the one who sacrifices his or own comfort for the sake of others. Once you reach Mina, right? So you'll probably be in a Kills group, for example. You are going to walk, and then you're going to come and put your knapsack on the area. It may be a mattress, or it may be just carpet. So this is basically your spot. Effectively, you're trying to reserve that spot, right? Once you come back from the Qurbani, some other people may have already come. They may have moved your knapsack on the side, or you may maybe find it at the corner. So this is now your time to sacrifice. Right? So we all in it for it together, and the space will be short. So it's okay. You rest for 2, 3 hours, 5 hours. Somebody else can rest on the same spot for another 2, 3, 5 hours. Okay, so we are all in it together. Okay, so this is another bonus thawab category. Okay, always keep your cool. Delays will happen. You know what they say? 2 things which are certain for sure. Number 1, death. Number 2, taxes. Number 3, delays in the Hajj trip. Okay, so again, keep your cool. It's happening. You're not going to work. You're going to be in a group. You don't have to worry. Delays will happen, okay? So shaitan is there working overtime to spoil your record. So you have to beat the shaitan by keeping your cool, okay? Always go out of your hotel with a partner or a friend. Again, there are so many people. We want to make sure you wear your badge and take a friend along with you. It may be shopping, it's okay. It may be tawaf, going to do some sunnat acts, it's okay. Because something happens to you on the road. You may get hurt, you may get bumped, right? You may faint in the haram. If you're alone, then yeah, they'll take you up and put you somewhere, but we'll have difficulty getting and tracking you down. So if you have a friend, he can at least call that, okay, I'm having difficulty with this person, we need some more help. So volunteers, organizers can reach to you very quickly, okay? Take enough rest. There is no competition. Quality is better than quantity. You will hear from your friends, oh, I've done my umrah, and now I have done 5 tawafs for my grandfather, for the 12th imam, etc. That's all fine. But if your health or you not take rest, it's fine. If you do 1 or 2 tawafs with full concentration, with full focus, it's more important than just running around, doing the tawaf. You're exhausting yourself, etc. So again, you have to balance. Okay, there is no competition. Don't worry. Somebody will tell you, oh, we did Umrah Mufrida, or we went to the cave of Hira and we came back, etc. That's okay. That's good for them. Look out for what's good for you. Okay. Drink lots of water. You need pure liquid to keep you pure and healthy. So we do serve, soft drinks, Coke and Fanta and all that. But again, if you're not sleeping enough with the fumes and all that, you should limit those. We are not saying don't drink, limit those. Okay, as long as you can take it and it's not hurting your throat, it's okay. But I think pure liquid keeps you pure. Okay. Always wash your hands before you eat. There's so much dust around you. So again, we are coming from haram. We are doing sajda in the marble. People are walking over that, right? When you come back, and before proceeding for either breakfast, lunch, or dinner, go to your room, wash your hands. Because once your hands are clean, chances of you getting sick are much, much slimmer. Okay. Practice walking. We have covered that point. You have to walk. Okay. Prepare spiritually, okay? Try to understand the philosophy behind the rituals. This understanding will be a catalyst for change. You have to come, as Sheikh Jafar said, back a new person, okay? If you are going alone, your family, once you come back, have to notice that difference. Huh?
Going alone, don't come back with your wife.
Okay, so I know for the first timers, you have worries in your heart, right? Like what will happen? Am I prepared? Am I not prepared, etc. So our point is don't worry, okay? We will eat and drink what Inayat drinks. So again, whatever he eats, we will drink, inshallah, okay? He eats nothing. Okay, so you have to do your part, okay? In terms of our logistics, our preparation, etc. You do your part. We will do ours to the extent of our ability, and Allah will do His. Inshallah, everything should work out, okay? So what happens if you get sick? We normally have doctors in our group. We have pharmacists in our group as well, okay? You have to carry your own prescription medicine. If you are diabetic, if you have cholesterol problems, etc., whatever it is, you carry your own prescription medicine. The rest we will normally carry. And again, if your situation worsens, okay, there are reasonably good hospitals in Medina and Mecca, okay? So that will be taken care of. Sheikh Jafar covered this. What happens if I, that means me or you, die? One of the best places to die, okay? And it happened. One person asked a question few years ago in the seminar, what happens if I die? And the answer was, we will bury you. And they buried him. That person really passed away. I'm not joking. Ask Inayat, he was witness to that, okay? We have extensive connections with other Hajj groups from London, from Africa, okay, from Pakistan. So, something like this happens, we all come together and they will bury that person either in Medina or in Mecca. It happens. We are going to cover all the possibilities. So you are prepared. You don't have to worry. Again, as Sheikh Jafar mentioned, the best place is to die, okay? Okay, so here's some stats from last year, okay? Or no, from 2-3 years as well. What would be one thing which you would do differently if Allah gives you the opportunity to do Hajj or Ziyarat again? Okay, so the answer was not more shopping in Medina or Mecca. Okay? More eating, shawarma, McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Baskin Robbins. This is not fake. All of these are in Mecca, close to the haram, walking distance, okay? You can enjoy, but it's not what you are looking out for. Huh? More drinking, fresh juice, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Starbucks is also in Mecca, near the haram. Okay? More socializing, okay? More socializing as well. So you can spend your time, believe me, in those holy places. You come, eat, you socialize, you go back, you sleep, you go to the haram, okay? But you need to, again, prepare, as Sheikh Jafar said. Focus, what do you want to achieve by going to this trip? What changes you want to see in yourself after you come back, okay? Okay, so the answer was, I wish I could have spent more time in the haram in Medina and Mecca and prayed a little bit more to my Lord. Because time will go so fast that you'll be back here on October 21st. And then it will just be a dream. Okay, good. Inayat, praise the Lord. Okay, so what I will do is we'll play a small video from the last few years, so at least you have a feel of the trip, and then we'll open up for questions and answers, inshallah, okay? And for the people who are listening online, you can email us your question at the same address as before. Yes. Okay. Any quick question by the time they're rolling out the video from anybody? Yeah.
How long will we spend in Medina before we go to Makkah?
How long will we spend in Medina before we go to Makkah? So generally we spend 4 nights and 5 days in Makkah. But again, just generally the guideline, it may be 1 or 2 days off because of the Saudi regulation in terms of when they close the roads to Makkah as well. But generally it's 4 nights, 5 days. So that was the answer for Medina. Oh, sorry. So Medina is 4 nights, 5 days, and Makkah again very similar. But then we have to proceed to Arafat. So we have generally 3 nights and 4 days before we proceed to Arafat. That's logistically how it works. Any Sheikh Jafar, you had a question? And after Arafat, you only have a day and a half before we come back. So ideally, as Akil Bhai mentioned, right, once we reach Mina, you still have to do the tawaf of Hajj. You have to do your tawaf Nisa, okay, as well. So within those 3 to 4 days, you need to make sure you finish your wajibats before we head on the plane, okay?
How and where and when can I help my wife in every step that I take?
Okay, so that's a good question. How can you help your spouse, for example, right? So in Medina, we go to pray, but there are segregations. So men go in a separate area to pray, and the ladies have their own haram, part of the haram, which is ladies section only. You can walk together, but then she'll have to go alone in the ladies section, and you go on the men's section. Some ladies can go to pray together, so she'll be, she can take some help. Once you are in Makkah, there's no segregation. So you can basically take your spouse with you and pray in the haram. They will segregate men and women in the haram, so they have to be a little bit on the side, etc. But at least you can probably be able to see your wife, okay? And then in tawaf, as Akil Bhai mentioned, you can do your tawaf with the spouse. So this way, basically, you are helping your wife.
Is there any way that I can take the rollator and keep it with me all the time?
Rollator, sorry.
Rollator.
The walker.
Walker.
Okay, so walker, Akil Bhai mentioned, we think the guards over there will allow, but if they deem that walker to be a safety hazard for other hujjaj, they may not allow you. So we'll have to see.
I have to walk in my hand at that time and just said no.
Yeah.
Where will I be able to keep it?
Okay, so that's a good question. Okay, so you can keep it outside, but there is a risk that you may not see it on the way back. So what we will do is once we reach Medina or Makkah, right, we will try once, and I can come with you, inshallah, if I get the visas, and then we'll see what they say. Okay, but I haven't seen anybody walking or doing tawaf with a walker yet. So there may be an issue. That's why they're not allowing wheelchairs, because it's been hurting people on legs. That's why they tell you if you are doing tawaf in a wheelchair, you have to do it on the 2nd or 3rd floor. And we can unfortunately not do the tawaf on the 2nd or 3rd floor.
If that is not possible, then what's the alternative for it? Wheelchair is not possible, the walker is not possible.
Okay. Right. Okay. So anybody who is gonna do the tawaf on the wheelchair, I would suggest it will be, there's a technical issue with that, okay, so we can contact Akil Bhai and we'll go and the organizers will help them out. Because we have very strict rules to follow, right, so we'll go through that privately with those people who are affected by that, okay? Communication with spouses, okay, just before you hit that start button. What we normally recommend is once you are in Medina, okay, you can buy cell phones there, around $30, right, etc. And then you put SIM card. You can also take your phones from here, provided they are unlocked. So you put your SIM card, the Saudi SIM card there, and you can communicate with your wife with the phone. So that's the best and easiest way to do it, okay? 3.5 kilometers. Akil Bhai mentioned that the walk Safa Marwa 3.5 kilometers in total. In total, the walk from our tents to the Jamarat approximately 6 to 7 kilometers one way, approximately. Okay, all right. Okay. No, it's fine. Okay, so we'll roll out the video. Just, keep your questions. Inshallah, we'll answer that. Okay, so I think once you see the video, at least you have one, like a clue in terms of what's going to be happening. And you can see the rush and the crowds. And inshallah, we'll continue with your questions. Okay?
شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك
Blessings from above descend ceaselessly on Medina. People feel the joy, people feel the love in the city of Rasulullah. A perfect path he laid for everyone. He lived and died for us, what have I done? I have forsaken his life, I have abandoned his way. Oh Allah, now my time has come. Deep in my heart I feel a change has begun. Deep in my soul I feel the warmth of the sun. Burning bright with Iman on the road to Ihsan. All my obstacles I will overcome. Peace be upon Rasulullah. Peace be upon Habibullah. Peace be upon Muhammad. Peace be upon Shafi'ullah. Peace be upon Khair Khalqillah. Peace be upon Muhammad. Last Nabi. Without his sunnah we disgraced. People rushing in order to embrace The rahmah that Allah sends down to this place, to the city of Medina. Every language and color you can see, there is unrivaled hospitality. And dates that's as sweet as the smile of a child, oh I feel so unworthy. Peace be upon Rasulullah, peace be upon Habibullah, peace be upon Muhammad, peace be upon Shafi'ullah, peace be upon Khair Khalqillah, peace be upon Muhammad. Last of the Anbiya. Oh how my mind races back in time to the day in Medina he arrived, and the people came running happily outside to welcome the messenger. For his call was to worship the one, their hearts united with the beating of the drum. And the children were singing praises to him. I wish I could have been there with him. Peace be upon Rasulullah, peace be upon Habibullah, peace be upon Muhammad, peace be upon Shafi'ullah, peace be upon Khair Khalqillah, peace be upon Muhammad. Last of the
اللہ ایک ہے پنجتن پانچ ہیں امام 12 ہیں معصوم 14 ہیں
اللہ ایک ہے پنجتن پانچ ہیں امام 12 ہیں معصوم 14 ہیں اللہ ایک ہے پنجتن پانچ ہیں امام 12 ہیں معصوم 14 ہیں
پہلے امام علی ہے لقب جن کا مرتضیٰ
پہلے امام علی ہے لقب جن کا مرتضیٰ
اور دوسرے حسن ہے لقب جن کا مجتبیٰ
اور دوسرے حسن ہے لقب جن کا مجتبیٰ
اور تیسرے حسین شہنشاہ کربلا ماں فاطمہ ہے جن کی لقب جن کا سیدہ
اللہ ایک ہے پنجتن پانچ ہے امام 12 ہے معصوم 14 ہے اللہ ایک ہے پنجتن پانچ ہے امام 12 ہے معصوم 14 ہے
چوتھے امام علی ہے لقب زین العابدین کہتے ہیں جن کو سید سجاد مومنین اور ایک لقب ہے عابد بیماروں دل حزین سجدوں سے جن کے اب بھی منور ہے یہ زمین
اللہ ایک ہے پنجتن پانچ ہے امام 12 ہے معصوم 14 ہے اللہ ایک ہے پنجتن پانچ ہے امام 12 ہے معصوم 14
ہے پانچویں امام محمد ہے جن کا نام، باقر لقب سے جانتے ہیں ان کو خاص و عام، ہے علم میرے پانچویں آقا کا بھی غلام، ان کو سلام کرتے ہیں جبریل صبح و شام۔
اللہ ایک ہے پنجتن 5 ہے، امام 12 ہے معصوم 14 ہے۔ اللہ ایک ہے پنجتن 5 ہے، امام 12 ہے معصوم 14 ہے۔
آپ پر درود اور سلام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، بس یہی صدا ہے صبح و شام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، آپ پر درود اور سلام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، آ رہے ہیں آپ چل رہی ہے یہ خبر، خانہ خدا پہ ہے ٹکی ہوئی نظر، سج رہے ہیں راستے تمام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، آپ پر درود اور سلام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، ہر نفس تجھے میرا سلام عرض ہے، میں تو کیا ہوں ہر نبی ولی پہ فرض ہے، دو جہاں میں تیرا احترام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، آپ پر درود اور سلام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، دو جہاں کی بادشاہ تیری ذات ہے، تو ہے اس کا ہاتھ جو خدا کا ہاتھ ہے، تیرے ہاتھ بیعتیں تمام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، آپ پر درود اور سلام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، اس لیے تمہارا انتظار ہے شدید، سر اٹھائے پھر رہے ہیں وقت کے یزید، آ کے ان سے لیجے انتقام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، آپ پر درود اور سلام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، ذکر خیر آپ کا وظیفہ ہے میرا، منقبت نہیں ہے یہ عریضہ ہے میرا، پڑھ رہا ہوں روز صبح و شام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، آپ پر درود اور سلام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، مولا جلد آئیے اب بھی جائیے، لے کے ذوالفقار بے نیام، اے میرے गुलाम हो गए जब से वो हुआ तेरा गुलाम
You can please be seated. Thank you. So we're almost at the end of our program. I'm going to take a few questions. Inayat Bhai will come and do a few more logistics announcement as far as the paperwork is concerned. And then, inshallah, we'll wrap it up. So you probably observed the theme of the Hajj trip is white. Men wear white, ladies wear white, the tents are white. And somebody made a comment, so you can easily get lost. That's why we recommend that you go with a partner. Even after stoning the Jamrat, you turn back. If you are alone, you'll be disoriented. Where do I have to go? And the other theme you probably saw was the Canadian flag. So that's the flag we use for all the Hujjaj, whether you are from Canada, from the US, or from the UK. If you see the Canadian flag, you are in the right group. You can see from the far. Even the tents in Arafat, in Mina, we have the Canadian flag right on the top, so you can see it, okay? So inshallah. But the main thing is be with a partner. Somebody asked that if you get lost, so for example, coming back from Jamarat, it's 6 to 8 kilometers walk. But if you get lost, you'll walk 10, 12, 14 kilometers. So ideally, please go with the group, go with a partner, come back with the group, with a partner, so it makes your life much, much easier, okay? So I'm open to any questions. We'll take some online questions as well. Okay, so, help us. Ladies, my
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I have a couple questions. One, just a follow-up question. You stressed not to get lost in Mina, and if you get lost, it could take you a long time to find it. What should you do if you do get lost, in the event that you get lost?
Okay, so everyone, as part of the package you'll get an identification bag, and also you'll get a wristband which will have the emergency phone number. So once you are lost, you call that emergency phone number. Depending on where you are, we'll guide you or we'll send a volunteer to come and get you.
Asking the emergency phone number is for us or general? Okay.
Phone number will be for Jaffa's number.
Yeah.
Next question I had, you mentioned that for slippers, we have to be careful that part of the foot is showing. Can you guys give a little bit more clarity on that, like what the rules in terms of fiqh are?
Yeah, so actually what we intend to do again this year, inshallah, if time permits, is that last year we had sent out a short quiz after the presentation. We actually have some pictures. So it'll be quite clear once you see the Q&A what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I've also been hearing from people that have gone, like in past years, that in Mecca and Medina we can't eat most the food at the restaurant. It's not halal. Do you guys have any idea if that's true or not? And I know that we're not necessarily supposed to go out there, but there might be times where we have to when we'll be out all night or whatever, you get hungry. So what should we do in that situation?
So I think we have been taking the position that all the food in Makkah and Medina is halal. You can, of course, we'll be providing 3 meals, and also the restaurants, basically we are taking that as halal. I think Maulana Rizvi has mentioned that if you are in that country, in that area, you should presume that it is halal. Okay. Well, ask the question, he'll answer better.
Understand that the first time when we go for the throwing of the stones, we are in Haram, we only are out to wear slippers. But the second day, you can wear your sneakers if you want to, probably because wearing slippers and walking 6.5 kilometers up and down would be very difficult. If you are on sneakers, it will be much easier for you, I presume. Am I right?
Yeah, so on the first day, you're still in the state of ihram. So on Eid day, after you do your rami, which is the stoning, your qurbani and your halaq, your shaving of the head, at that point, remember, all restrictions are lifted except the 3: intimacy of the spouse, hunting, and use of perfume. Therefore, after that, you're in regular clothes, shoes, socks, everything is fine. So walking on the second day and third day with sneakers, shoes, sandals, whatever you're comfortable with is fine.
Okay, the other question was getting the SIM card. The SIM cards are available in Medina and in Makkah in the nearby store, so that shouldn't be a problem getting SIM card, okay?
So that the online listeners can hear.
Saudi seems to frequently start months on different times than the Shia fiqh permits. Do we follow the Shia fiqh or do we follow the Saudi dates when we're there?
So basically, once we are in the Saudi soil, we follow their calendar effectively. They say this is the day of Eid, this is the day of Arafat. Because of logistical issues, we cannot implement our calendar there. That's the answer Maulana Rizvi just gave recently. Correct?
He's asking, do they use the same phones there as we do here?
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to dial in, yeah. So the idea that if you carry your local phone here over there, say you have a BlackBerry. Well, if you dial from Saudi into Canada, it's $4 a minute through Rogers, for example, or Bell. The idea is that if you unlock your phone, you put a local SIM card in Saudi, then you can dial 00 and it's much cheaper to call back into Canada or into America. Yeah.
And incoming is free?
Incoming is free, yeah.
With the local SIM card.
Akil, there is a question for you here. Please confirm if men and women can wear dust masks in the state of ihram under the rulings of late Grand Ayatollah Khoy and Grand Ayatollah Sistani.
I would have to check as far as Sayyid Al-Khoui is concerned, but as far as Sayyid Sistani is concerned, if you're having to wear a dust mask for medical reasons, yes. Remember, most of these rules apply that you can't wear it preventatively. Meaning, no. Meaning, if you think you're going to get sick and you want to wear a mask, no, you can't wear it. If you're certain, for example, you're asthmatic, right? You have asthma, and because of the pollution, that's a different situation. But because I don't want to get a cold, right? Therefore, I want to be preventative and I'm going to wear a mask, right? That is not permitted. So if you have a confirmed medical condition as a result of which you need to wear a mask under these in this environment, then yes, it's not a problem.
Okay, the next question
not
is
precautionary.
Sorry. The next question: what is the recommended size of the bag to carry with us during travel to Arafat, Muzdalifah, and Mina? See, in one of the slides, there was a knapsack, right? In the picture, it says packing list for Muzdalifah, Arafat, Mina. That's the size you need to carry, right? You can have a wheeler, that's okay if you want to wheel the bag, but same size. That's something you carry on in the airplane. That's more or less the size we are looking at. Any questions from the ladies? You have to speak in the mic.
Okay, if you're allergic to dust, are you allowed to wear the dust mask?
If you're allergic to dust, are you allowed to wear a dust mask? You know, it depends on the severity of the allergies. I have dust allergies myself, but I don't wear it. Okay, so it depends. I mean, if your condition is so severe that you absolutely must wear a mask because of your own condition, then yes. But otherwise, generally, there's not. In Arafat, and there's obviously dust. Mina as well, a little bit. Muzdalifah, but it's not like the dust is blowing hard unless it's a really windy day. But generally, it's not that bad.
Inayat, this is a question for you. If I die at Hajj, the kafan is paid by whom? Should I carry my own kafan? Inayat will carry one or two for, he says. So that's good.
What about the cost?
It will be donated, inshallah.
I'll get the money from my SIT when I come back.
Okay, Akil, this is a question for you. Can I wear a clean sandal while performing the tawaf because of a problem in my heel? Would they allow me to do so in the haram?
Will they allow you to wear sandals in the haram? Is that the question?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so you will not be allowed to wear sandals in the haram, because when we're doing the tawaf, we are doing barefoot. We are carrying ourselves, of course, the slippers. But if you have an issue, a medical issue, then unless the guards allow you there to wear some kind of a booty or something, otherwise everybody does bare feet.
It becomes really slippery with that as well. If you're wearing something and they've just washed the floor.
I've seen the Turkish people actually wear those leather things, right? You can buy them in the store. They're leather shoes, and you can wear them.
Okay, what Inayat Bhai is saying, so people on the online can hear, is that he has seen some Turkish group wearing some leather, like booties, very thin booties, which they have allowed in the past.
But you can't in the state of ihram for men. You can't cover your feet in the state of ihram. If you have a medical reason, it's a different situation. Yeah.
Okay, here Akil, another one for you. Is hydrocortisone cream allowed for things like bug bites, such maybe a nuisance but not necessarily a medical reason or emergency?
Hydrocortisone cream. Yeah, if you have a bug bite and you can manage for 24 hours, really that's all. 24 to 48 hours is all that we're in the state of ihram for. Then you can manage. But if it is an absolute necessity, then yes, for medical reasons you can apply the steroid cream.
Okay. Here's a question again on ihram. Am I correct to understand when our ihram gets najis, we cannot wash it, we can only replace it?
No. If your ihram gets najis, you're obligated to free yourself from najasat. So whether that means washing the ihram or it means replacing it, either one is fine.
Okay, here's a question. What kinds of foods should we avoid there to protect from health hazards? Inayat by saying chevro. So ideally, what you know your body more than anybody else. So again, basically what I would recommend is avoid too much like soft drinks and all that, juice and all that. Like if you drink pure water, if you eat healthy stuff, we provide home cooked meals more or less with apple, fruit every day to take lots of vitamin C. And we will have doctors in the group who will come and lecture you what you should be doing in terms of drinking and how to keep yourself healthy, inshallah. What about salads? Ask mommy to answer. Well, we'll ask Sabira to answer that first.
The salads are washed with tap water.
And they are okay. We have been serving salads with our meals, and they are pretty much okay.
So women needs to keep the socks during tawaf?
Women are allowed to wear socks during tawaf, yes. Obviously Sayyid Sistani requires it. You just have to be careful about not slipping and falling, because the floor tends to get quite slippery. But obviously women have to wear socks in the state of hijab.
Okay, Akil bhai, if you can just clear the question about the interest.
Yeah, so before Dhuhr, I had received a couple of questions about if I have a credit card debt or I have a line of credit debt. How is that dealt with in terms of outstanding debt? In both of those instances, it is okay. So if you have an outstanding credit card debt that you are paying off on a monthly basis, or you have a line of credit that you're making your minimum payments towards, in both of those instances, it is fine. If you have enough sufficient liquid funds available for Hajj, then Hajj is still obligatory.
Okay. Can we fast during our 10-day stay in Medina and Makkah?
Yeah, you're not staying 10 days in Medina or in Makkah.
Okay, so let's say if they are staying less, but can we fast there?
Yeah, I don't think you can fast when you're staying in any place for less than 10 days. Salat is a different rule, but not for Saum. No, Qadha fast in Medina or Makkah, I don't believe you can. Yeah, no, so we're saying we can't.
Okay. All right, okay, so I think what we will do is I'll ask Inayat Bhai to come forward. In the meantime, inshallah, we will be sending out the slides later on today or tomorrow. And for the brothers and sisters who are listening online, so as I mentioned at the beginning, there are 3 groups which will be combined by the time we reach Medina. If you have any questions in terms of logistics, if you are departing from Canada, you can contact Brother Inayat or myself. If you have any questions on the fiqh aspects or spiritual aspects, you can contact Akil and Sheikh Jafar. And for logistics, information and details, for people who are traveling from the US, they can contact Shakil Bhai Virji. For those listening online from the UK, it's Mustafa Bhai Jafar and the group there. Okay, so just from logistics, of course, they'll have more details in terms of your flight times, etc. But once we are in Medina, we are all in it together. Okay, and for the ladies, inshallah, generally there's an online seminar by Sister Tahira by Kasmali, which will be announced over the next couple of weeks, inshallah, and they can ask all the details. If you have any questions in terms of packing, right, you can send an email to smegji@rogers.com, either for ladies or for gents, and inshallah we'll respond quickly. Or you can even give us a call. We'll put the phone numbers down in the email that will go out later on today or tomorrow. Okay, so Inayat Bhai, you can come and conclude. And if you have not answered any questions, again, just shoot us an email. Inshallah, we'll answer that as well.
I only have 10 pages to do.
Oh, before Inayat Bhai comes, I just wanted to announce that last year, Akil Bhai did send out a quiz to see how prepared the group was in terms of the preparation. So if you get 80 and plus, I think you are well prepared. If 80 and less, you need to do a little bit more homework on the plane, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Is it sinking in or is it just flying over your head? Tell me, Is it really sinking in? Too much in one day to digest. Obviously, if I was here, I would have slept or I would have smoked. Right? It's too much. But this will come over and over and over. So don't feel like this is it. You know, this is the borderline. You got to learn today. No. It's the questions they will ask you, don't worry about it. To me, Hajj is just from here. I give you guys books. I give you MP3s, whatever there is in the emails and all that. I don't read them. Because if I read one page, it takes me 1 hour. So if you guys send me long emails, it takes me a long time to read them. That's why half of them, Habib reads them. Before I forget, right, I want to thank all those people who brought Tabaruk today. I want to thank Habib's family. They've always been with me. I got an IT guy, my speller checker, right? So if you see an email from me and it's got spelling mistake, that's coming from me. If you see all the grammars, the points and everything, that's coming from Nabil, his son. Because I send it to him, then he makes it into white man's English and he sends it to you. Right? Simple as that. But if I'm pissed, I'll send you an email right away. You know Inayat is angry right now. Karo Tevui. But I always break my fast and then I write this email. He's taught me that. I want to thank Masumin for giving us room and taking care of it. I want to thank really Rehan and Hassan Ali for coming here on the day off to come and do the IT thing. Because it was actually, he said, I can't do it. I said, I'll change the date. You do it the day you are here. You tell me when. At least Rehan was nice enough to come. Thank you so much. He left his family and came. I want to thank Sheikh to come and, even though this is his first Hajj, he might be asking me questions, but I think I will refer him to Akil Bhai is better. So let's all do Fatiha for all the marhumeens, our marhumeens and the rest of the marhumeens. Let's give this to them. With 3 Qul Huwallahs, please. There's one thing you got to understand now. How many of you can swim? Raise your hand, don't feel shy. You swim, okay? People do swim. So when you're swimming, you never go against the current. Am I correct? You go with the current. So if I want to reach to point A, and the current is coming this way, and if I start from here, I'll never make it. So the point A is here, I go over here and start swimming, and the current will take me to point A. That's common sense. Agree? Abbas, I'm talking to you. Okay, fantastic. You're listening to this. So Tawaf is like that also. They say you start from Maqam Ibrahim, for the Masjid, what's that, Hazrat Aswad. But you can't just say, there's Hazrat Aswad, I'm going to go straight. You can't. You got to go from that side and then continue and flow into the system. And then the crowd will be so much. Don't worry about it. Just stand there. And it will happen. Because you have no choice. They will drag you. You don't have to even push somebody. They will push you. Okay, so take it easy. There's nothing to worry about. Now, when I say about the swimming, let's talk about how many of people can read my email. That's the question too. Very few. And when I say, please, I need 4 pictures, 2 pictures now, 2 pictures later, there's still some people going to take pictures today. I don't want to mention their names. Right? I'll mention the initial is SJ. You figure out who that is. So please, you got to work with me, right? Life is not that difficult. Trust me. When I say do this, then say, oh no, I done it. I don't know if you done it or not. Some person will ask me a question, will ring me up and said, did you get my envelope? I said, Baba is sitting in the box. I will figure it out when the time comes. Right now my concern is the pictures. And still haven't got the pictures yet. Anyway, coming back to the Ramadan, right? when we first Ramadan, how was it? 17 hours, 16 hours, right? No water, the heat, the temperature was there right at that time, the heat was on. How did we feel? Oh, we got to do 30 days of this? We got to find a moon on 29th day, right? Plus then you got to listen to the Maulana for another 20 minutes or 35 minutes here before you break your fast. That's not easy, but you did it, right? And it just went like that, did it not? Tell me. So the Hajj is same thing. It takes me a year to prepare. It takes you all this time to read, to coax, and you'll talk to this person and that person, and everybody will have an idea. They're all mujtahid. All those people who have done Hajj, they all got a amama already. And they say, don't do this and don't do that. Don't listen to them. Baba, listen to your heart, listen to your condition, listen to your body, and listen to this thing, because you're doing Hajj with your heart, not with your body. You talk to Allah with your heart. And the same way the Hajj will just come and will go away, you won't even know what hit you. And then say, oh my God, I forgot to do this. Don't worry about it, go to next time. But don't go after 5 years, you'll be allowed. That's the opportunity you get. We'll give you musallas, we'll give you whatever we can get, and it's all donated by people, the books and everything. So now this is they're only asking you to pray for them whenever you use their things, and pray for their marhumins. So we're going to do another marhumins for them. Please, Surah Fatiha. You will all have niyat cards in your wallet. We'll make them for you so you don't forget. Niyat is very important. Wherever you go, whatever you're doing, you make that niyat that this is what I'm doing. And it's all in English, you'll understand that. Everybody will have a copy of it. So you don't have to worry about remembering where you are. It says, you are in Arafat, this is the niyat. You are there, this is the niyat. So you keep that with you. It's very important. You will have a bag, you will have a small pouch, you will have something or the other. If I have it, I'll give you. I think we should have pouches. You can put your phone in there and your glasses and all that thing, right? We have asked for all these things to come. If it comes in time, we give it to you. If it doesn't come, doesn't matter. We'll get you a pouch somewhere or the other.
Okay, now I'm getting mixed up. At the time of Ihram, nothing has to be stitched. So
no, you can wear a bag around your neck, right? You're not wearing it. Am I correct, Akil bhai? Yeah, so you can you can even have a bag that's stitched, and you can have your slippers in it. I ordered them from Karachi. If I get them in time, inshallah, we'll give it to you. So now we say, our flights, you all know by now, right? Which airline are we going on? Which aircraft? What's the aircraft? What aircraft? What aircraft? You know the aircraft? It's 777, 777, one of the best aircraft planes you can get right now. That's what I think. You'll be getting a draft in your passport. Please don't pull it out, right? Keep that with you on the last page. It must be with you. And when you are in Medina, when you land in Medina, wife is separate, husband is separate. Stop dominating your wives by controlling their passports or anything. Some of you men like to do it, like Hussein would like to keep his wife's passport. Forget about it. You just give her the passport and the draft. She's on her own, you're on your own. Because the ladies will go through another channel, you'll go through another channel. Right? So, and your meningitis vaccination, they will ask you for it. So keep it in your pocket. Don't say it's in my suitcase. It's no good in the suitcase. Your bags are outside. So try to keep it everything with you. And every individual should carry that. That draft you must surrender in Medina. You must. Even if the guy doesn't take it from you, beg to take it. Then stop me. Say, nah, he's not taking my draft. Give it to him. He takes your passport, don't worry about it. Give it to him. Because from now on, forget about the passport. It's my problem to look for the passport. That draft, I will put one draft. It's paid for already. It's 941 Saudi riyals. That's for your tents and for your motor fee and everything. All right? But everybody will have a draft and you surrender it in Medina airport. Yes. Even the passport. The guy will take it away from you. Don't feel shy. Right? I brought people back to Canada without a passport. Don't feel shy. Your vaccination is taken care of. Okay, I also want to tell you, carry very light stuff. Especially our people, we need to tell them. Right? You're not going to be in the air for 3 days. Right? Just a little bit of granola here and there that if you're going to feel sick, you want to eat something, you take that. Chevro, gantia, whatever. They bring it. Don't feel shy. Bring everything they give you. Oh, I will eat it. What you want to do is just carry very light stuff and some loose clothing so you are relaxed on the plane. You're not cramped up, right? And then we just follow the crowd. You don't have to get lost or anything. A lot of people ask me, what medication should I take? If you have a drug plan and it's $0, take with you zithromycin. We'll write that up and give it to you. Zithromycin, Cipro, Tylenol for the doctor, he needs it. And all sorts of medicine that you can buy and take it with you because it's not costing you anything. For those people you have to buy and you don't have a plan, don't buy it. Because these people have brought enough. We'll take it from them. Or it's cheaper to buy it in Saudi Arabia. Right? Zithromycin is one of the things I think everybody should carry. It's a set of 6 pills. You pop 2 first and then 1 a day. That's for infection or anything. Cipro is one of the best medicines you can take. Right? In the other side, if you're like a desi like me, you take psyllium, you take hardi, you take loving and all those things. Sardi, you take those things. That works for me. Okay? Every day you must walk at least 40-45 minutes now. It's a must. And even for you, Tairabai, you must walk 45 minutes. Try to, right? Forget about the wheelchair. You will eventually, once you reach there, you won't need a wheelchair. Right now you are so stressed out about the wheelchair. Where am I going to park it? There is no valet parking there. You just don't worry about it. You're going to do without it. Trust me. No, I'm not asking you to do it. There's another thing, a lot of people, I'm just jumping up and down because I didn't write, I'm not as professional as Habib to have all those things on picture and everything showing. I'm sorry about that. Next time Rayan is going to do it for me. Everybody says about shaitan, right? Shaitan, now a lot of people, Akil would be wrong. Akil would be right by saying you got to look for the center part of the shaitan. Now, was he there when they were building the shaitan? Did they go right ways? Did they go left ways? Where is the old shaitan? There is no old shaitan. To my heart, that is the shaitan. But it's inside you that you're throwing out that shaitan. So how I do it, if you take shaitan, there's so many people around you. So you put your hand down and you put this, and by the time you hand it down, somebody hit you there and somebody hit you there, broke your glasses. I go like as if I'm hitting darts. I have 7, 10 here, and I don't bring my hand down. And then I go like this, and then like as if you're throwing darts. Because you have to go that close. You will be able to go that close. I will be that close to the shaitan. Because I'll go even say, hi buddy, how are you? And then hit the shaitan. You want to do it that way. You don't want to hit from far behind and hit somebody else's head. We will be going to the graves, right? And they say, ask at the graves. What do you ask at the graves? I know Azim went last time, he said, I asked for a Mercedes. He got it. Right? What do you ask for the graves? You ask them to give you good health, sane mind, right? Keep your awlad and awlad, lovers of Ahl al-Bayt. This is the kind of thing that you ask. Money will come to you and will go away. The more you have, the more questionable you are going to be. What did you do with it? All right? So we will be going to those graves. And ask Allah, bring me back again. Take me to ziyarat. Tell the Prophet, give me your salams and let me take it to your favorite, your son-in-law. And then you will see you'll be in Najaf very soon. Because you are going to be working as DHL now, taking a message for him. This is so important that you ask, and you will get that. We said earlier, I think Habib has covered it, the ladies and gents, we prefer the ladies on the back side, gents on the front side, right? If you want to talk to them, it's ample time. You know, just SMS, honey, I'm downstairs waiting for you. Just go for a walk, go for ice cream, or go and eat burger, whatever you want. There's enough time. But on the buses, when we are going to ziyarat places, I want everybody to concentrate where you are going and to start praying for that place where you're going. Like we said, Muzdalifah is death before death. Now, we ask people to bring a sleeping bag because there is nothing else there. Right? No mats, no mattresses, nothing. You're just on the floor. So if you have a sleeping bag, and somebody will find a sleeping bag very soon on sale for $9.99 at Canadian Tire, hit that email to everybody. Say on this flyer or this page, there is one sleeping bag for $9.99 or $11. Buy that. And then you throw it out. You don't bring it back. Right? No, not the 2-pounders. The one you buy at Canadian Tire, $9.99, they're from China, 2-pounders, they're not very warm. And you don't need to cover it. You're just laying it open. Right? Now when you open up a sleeping bed, let's say a sleeping bag in Arafat, you can't say this is my bed. It becomes a double, king-size bed. Compared to the Arafat standard, that's a king-size bed. You're only supposed to use quarter of that sleeping bag. That's your bed. So open it up and people will share it. No, you'll get some nice cotton ones. You will, yeah. Yes, I think you need a sleeping bag. Yeah. That's fine. The yoga one, that's perfect. Right? That's perfect. Somebody asked a question about the rooms, right? You know already the chemistry is here. You know who's your friend, who's not your friend, who you want to share a room with, who you don't want to share. You know already. Right? Sabira Bai handles all the ladies' problems for me. And she's always smiling. Whether she has problem or no problem, she's always smiling. Thank God. Right? And Habib is on the other side. You won't find me, because I'll be in the haram praying all day long. If you believe that one, you know. So, for gents, if you have any questions, any problems, don't get upset. Take it easy. When we arrive, oh, I got no bed, I have not this. Take it easy. You will get it. Right? So, and then Sabira Bai is there. No need to look. Where is Nai? You won't find me. So you go to Sabira, we have this problem. I have a lady who's smoking in my room. We have a problem. Yes, you have a problem. She can't smoke there, but she can't smoke outside either. So what are we going to do? We can accommodate that. We try to get another lady who's smoking, doesn't mind smoking, they can put it together. This has happened. That's why I'm saying I'm not bringing it from the air. Right? I don't even know what I wrote here, you know. Let's hear a loud salawat. When you do your tawaf, when you do Arafat, when you do Mina, right, there's one thing. You cannot have shak that whether it is accepted or not. It is accepted. Your du'as, your amal is all accepted. You cannot have a shak that is not accepted. Allah has chosen you from all those people, right? He has chosen you people to go there. And you all are guests of Allah. Right? We already got that done. He's covered it up. I was sleeping at that time. But you have to understand how fortunate you all are. There are so many Muslims, so many, Dr. Ali Dina once mentioned, so many percentage of Muslims will die without even going to Hajj. Right? So you should take that advantage. Say, thank you. God, thank you for bringing me here. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if I'm there yet till I'm there. And once I'm there, then I said, Allah, thank you for bringing me. Right? So don't forget that. You all are the really chosen ones that to go there and you get an opportunity to go there. And pray that you get a chance again and again and again. I think he covered it. Mina, we leave second last day. So when you go to Arafat, Mina, I want you to carry very light stuff. When you can take your hand luggage, lift it from ground and keep it like this for 3-4 minutes, that is your luggage. But when you do it like this and you keep it up to here, that's not your luggage. That's somebody else going to end up carrying it, or maybe you're going to throw it. All right? So make it very light, because on the second last day, we'll all go to Makkah on the 11th night. We'll arrange buses. I'll tell her, pack up your stuff, let's go. And then we won't come back to that place again. So we'll do our wajibat on the second night, and then we'll come back in the morning, hit the shaitan, wait near the shaitan, and then as soon as the azan comes, we'll move out and we'll walk back to the hotel. That's another 45-minute walk. That's why in my flyer it says, can you walk 45 minutes? Right? If you are in Medina, you saw those ladies all there. They wear the black chadar right away. So they take very few internal clothes and they buy 2 chadars and this is it. That's your clothing. Right? You don't have to carry so many. You don't have to carry 10 shirts for 10 days. I know Hussein wanted to do. He brought last time 12 shirts. I'm going to be at 12 days. So take a few shirts, because you can wash and wear them. You can wear the kanzu. People give you money. Right? They give you sukri and they give you some money. Yes, buy some dates in Medina, buy some scarves, buy some stuff, go to the dollar store, get a basket, put the stuff in there, Saran wrap it and give it to them back. The dates you want to buy is ajwa. The dates you want to buy for pregnant women or expecting women is Bernie. Remember the name? Bernie. Right? This Bernie is somebody just gave me from the hadith. And I think it's true. I'm not going to quote any. Okay. Is there any questions? You have any logistic questions? Shoot them out. And you're not allowed to ask me any questions.
Ideally, how many pairs of trousers?
How many days are you going to be there? You can bring 10. 2. Then you can wear the white kanzu. Right? And there is laundromat right across. Not the one on the right hand side. The one across the street, because I get commission on that. Not the one on the right hand side. But guys, what do we do when we go out? All the young mothers will tell you that. The children, they come home, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. That's the standard printout. That's what you guys should do. Every time you go to the Zari or any place, anywhere outside, come home, wash your hands with soap. Because this is where most of the problems come from. No, wash your hands with soap and water. I hear soap and water. We don't use that hand sanitizer. Okay. I guess if there is no other questions, for the ladies, our sister here has brought some Aram. If anybody is interested, can have a look at it. Mrs. Karamkhani, you're going to show it to the ladies. You brought some Aram. Okay, so before we end, and the ladies can sit down and talk to her, let's surah Fatiha, loud salawat, and say Fatiha for all the marhumins, please.